the best news that turned bad fast? 3 months ago, I got the phone call that I thought would change my entire life forever. My boss called me into his cramped office with this massive grin plastered across his face. He said the company was promoting me to regional manager of the entire Southwest Division. Double my current salary, brand new company car, huge corner office with windows, full benefits package, the absolute works. I was barely scraping by making $38,000 a year as a customer service representative. This promotion would instantly bump me up to $75,000 annually. I could finally afford to propose to my girlfriend Emma with a real diamond ring instead of the cheap promise ring I'd given her 2 years ago. We'd been together for 4 long years, cramming ourselves into my tiny one-bedroom apartment above the pizza shop, splitting packages of ramen noodles for dinner most nights because that's all we could afford after rent and utilities. I called Emma immediately from the parking lot. She screamed so loud through the phone that 3 of my coworkers walking by started clapping and cheering. That same night, we went to Marino's, the fancy steakhouse downtown that we'd walk past every Friday evening, pressing our faces against the windows to look at the menu, but never having enough money to actually go inside. Emma ordered the most expensive lobster tail on the entire menu. I got their biggest ribeye steak with garlic mashed potatoes and grilled asparagus. We talked excitedly about finally getting a real apartment with 2 actual bedrooms, central air conditioning, and maybe even a dishwasher so we wouldn't have to wash dishes by hand anymore. She pulled out her phone and showed me engagement ring pictures she'd been secretly saving for months. For the first time in years, those sparkling diamonds didn't seem completely impossible or like some distant fantasy. The promotion was officially supposed to start the following Monday morning. I spent the entire weekend driving around to different stores, shopping for new dress shirts, ties, and even bought myself a genuine leather briefcase from the department store. I felt like a real successful adult for the first time in my entire 28 years of life. Monday morning arrived, and I walked into the office building 45 minutes early, ready and excited to move all my stuff into my spacious new corner office. My boss was already waiting by my old desk with this really strange, uncomfortable expression on his face. He quietly asked me to sit down for a minute. That's when my whole world completely collapsed. Turns out the regional manager promotion had been a massive administrative mistake. The position was legally required to go to someone with a 4-year college degree. Human Resources had just realized over the weekend that I'd only completed 2 years of community college before dropping out to work full-time and support myself. But here's where everything gets infinitely worse than just losing a promotion. Since they'd already officially announced my advancement internally to all employees and externally to clients and vendors, they couldn't just quietly take it back without looking completely incompetent as a company. The corporate executives decided that the easiest, cleanest solution was to permanently eliminate my current customer service position entirely. After 5 solid years of perfect attendance, multiple customer service excellence awards, and 0 disciplinary actions, I was being completely laid off because of their administrative screw-up. The severance package was absolutely insulting. Exactly 2 weeks of regular pay and a basic recommendation letter. I'd already put down a $1,200 security deposit on a much nicer apartment based on my expected doubled salary. The deposit was completely non-refundable according to the lease agreement. Emma initially took the devastating news even harder than I did. She'd already excitedly told absolutely everyone about my big promotion. Her parents, all her friends from work, her sisters, even posted a long celebratory message about it on all her social media accounts. She felt publicly embarrassed and humiliated and started blaming me for not thoroughly checking the degree requirements beforehand. We had multiple terrible fights over the next 2 weeks. She said she needed to be with someone who was more financially stable and actually had their entire life figured out. She'd gotten emotionally used to the idea of real financial security and comfort, and the thought of going back to struggling paycheck to paycheck felt completely impossible for her to handle. I'm currently working at a different call center across town, making only $26,000 per year. That's actually less money than what I was earning before the promotion that never actually happened. I had to swallow my pride and move back into my childhood bedroom at my parents' house at 28 years old. The absolute worst part is accidentally seeing Emma's social media posts. She's seriously dating some finance guy who drives a BMW and takes her to expensive restaurants every weekend. Last week, they went to that exact same steakhouse where we celebrated. In her caption, she wrote about finally finding someone mature who can provide the stable, comfortable life she's always deserved. 2 months ago, I drove past my old office building out of curiosity. There's a huge bright red for lease sign hanging in the front window. The entire branch apparently shut down permanently just 6 months after they laid me off. The regional manager position they claimed absolutely required a college degree. They never bothered filling it at all before closing everything down.